you very much. First of all, I'm very happy to meet you in the Datum in the International Conference of Modeling Identification Control. So regarding to your question, I'm from mechanical department of Politecnico Milano. So the major area related to me is automation and mechatronics. So basically, we are dealing with some theoretical aspect and looking for some applications. In my research group, some researcher working on the pure control and some researcher working on the application side. Application means related to the health monitoring, condition monitoring for the fault diagnosis. And also we have application to autonomous driving. So currently in my research group in Politecnico Milano, so majority of master and PhD students work in these three areas I mentioned. This is a very important question, not only related to my group, my research. This is the general question, and many researchers they can look at this question from different side. So in Europe, because of the research in Europe, it has a European culture, and we have to follow that European culture to succeed to reach to our target. So what does it mean? It means that the research starts from the project base. It means we are looking at the funding, and the one challenge is to realize the project by obtaining the sufficient funding from different programs. And then when we have the funding based on one topic, so finding the person should be fit to that area. It means hiring a PhD candidate or postdoctoral. So this is the second. No, I'm not calling it a challenge, but I'm saying that this is one risk in the project. So usually the project. We don't call it as a challenge because the risk of the project, but I'm trying to mitigate the risk of the projects. So by finding the competent candidate to deal with the project topics. But of course, research in general, because now the research is developing very fast in different areas. So looking at the AI, machine learning. So always we need to look for some new direction. So it means we need to follow the stream of the development or evolution of the research in the society. And it means that we have to be updated all the time. And this is the reason that we are attending the conferences and we have to look forward some new directions. So in general, finding the new topics for establishing the research group, finding the human resources, human person to look at the project topic, all they bring some challenge or some risk to the project. And based on the European style for the research, I think we are always mitigating the risk, bring it down, and try to succeed the project as much as possible. This is our ultimate goal. But again, it depends how to evaluate the research outputs, and this is about the evaluations. And this evaluation has different indexes. So one index is a publication, one index is some other products. So usually we are trying to come up with some sort of the result to be available to the public, and because most of our research are the public funded research, and we are mostly publishing in the open access journal because open access is basically very important in Europe because when the project funding comes from the government or from the social project, and the results should be available to everyone. So now why not publish in open access? And open access, the goal of open access is encouraged to all the researchers in Europe to disseminate the result to this kind of the publication, and we are also trying our best so to follow these guidelines. Yes, this question is important for the early research, early career researcher, or we call ECR. So for the ECR, usually I recommend them. So pay attention to the guidelines of the or the ethics of the research. Do the research based on the what guidelines already established, because we have some rules for doing the research in a standard ways. Not do not try to be hurry in the research, because research not related to the funding, research related to the time. It means that we should not give a short time to the researcher, or researcher should not expect that do all the tasks in the short time, or publishing many papers in 5 or 6 months. So researcher should follow the standard way. It means just have a patient and follow the rules of the ethics of the research, and try to make a globalization. So this is very important. I often tell to my students, so look at the internationalization. Research should not stay in my computer, stay in my office. I need to communicate. I need to present. So to the large audience. So large this kind of the presentation again is coming one way through the webinar, through the conference, the seminar, presentation, and also publications. So in general, the researcher should pay attention to we call it as the rules of the publication or the rules of the research very carefully, and they have to learn. And I tried from my side to teach them what are the best way so to do the healthy research, and don't try to speed up too much your work, because sometimes if you speed up, maybe the quantity increase, you can publish maybe more article, but the quality maybe decrease. So we need to make some reasonable the balance between the quality of the research and the quantity. But nowadays, the quantity is not so important, and more attention to quality. So researchers should learn that research should be discussed from the low level, again, go to the high level. Because when you publish the paper, it remains forever. So maybe your result is not true, but you publish the result. But why you publish the right result in the journal? Because you try to speed up your basically your publication, and then you didn't pay attention to the dissemination. And this brings some negative effects for the career. So the career development is based on the scientific career. Of course, it's the responsibility of the university, the supervisor. And also we have some responsibility for the social behavior of the students. Social behavior means how they can interact with the other researchers. So because all of us, we are the networks, and we need to keep this society so very basically in a very how to say that the relation between the people in the networks should be the not I think should be the very friendly, and should be very politely, and we need always try to communicate, to discuss, and don't hesitate if your result is wrong. So I tell to my students, sometimes the wrong result is also appreciated. We need to open discussion. We need to just go out and try to think about, I want to discuss in the global networks. And this is a globalization is important, because this brings a win-win situation to all the researcher. So this is my advice to my students: try pay attention to try to uh, increase as much as possible the quality. So don't look at the quantity, because for us, 2 papers or 10 papers is no matter. So we need just to look at what kind of the contribution in terms of the quality we can promote it in the society. So in general, career development, every year I write some report for each of my students. In Europe, we need to do it for each student, and each student has different plan. One student want to go to the company, and we need to make a career plan based on the how he can succeed after graduation to go to the company to work. If the student want to continue to academy, he has another career development. It means that this kind of the development should be specialized for each candidate, and this means we need to discuss with the person and try to find what would be the best plan for the person, and we need to check it every 6 months or every year. So we cannot fix the plan and don't change it because the plan is changed every year. And this is something I'm doing for each individual students in my group. And if it takes time, but we have to do it. And this is something is my responsibility. Thank you. First of all, thanks to all the journal office. Because I appreciate all the efforts they have done to the journal. The journal from since 2021, has been developed in a very reasonable way. It means that we publish every year 4 issues, and we succeeded to open this journal to the more international audiences. It means we try to organize some webinars every year, at least 2 or 3, and we invited a top researcher in the field to give some speech, to the large audiences. I think this kind of the information generation and also putting on the web page of the journal is one of the target. So the journal is not only based on the regular publication, we also would like to generate more information for the readers or the audience of the journal. This is the second plan. So in general, the journal, in terms of the collecting the submission, so from the all over the world, it means that we have international co-authors in the journal, and the journal has a very strict review process. So we try to keep the quality as high as much as possible, and it means that some papers are rejected from our journal, maybe even they are the good journal, but they are not fit to our target in terms of quality. But maybe they can submit to other journals. But in fact, for the complex engineering system, the quality we should keep it forever and try to follow this standard and try to promote it. So now we have a very international editorial board. We also pay attention to the young researcher. We have a YAOS editor board, and we always have a regular meeting at least once per year. And we open the discussion. We collect the feedback from the our editor board, and we have also the advisory board. And we appreciate our outstanding scholars in the field. They join us in the journal. So we open this journal to everyone, all the researchers in the world. So if you are interested to cooperate with our journal, please contact us. You can send us some suggestion, the feedback, or if you want to publish, you are very welcome to submit your papers or propose special issues. So we have some section editor for different areas, and we try to keep some technical sessions or special session for each part. And a special issue is also one of the platform of the journal. In total, the journal, in terms of the developing, is based on what we are expecting, based on the guidelines of the journal development. So for us, the number of the article is not important, only the quality, and we keep this kind of the quality all the time, and all the thanks to all the editor board and also the reviewers. We also appreciate the time of the serving as a review for the journal. And this kind of the cooperation between the reviewers, the board members, and of course the journal office, they pay attention to all the important aspects of each journal should be considered for the better development. So this is again is the development of the journal. So we are trying to improve every year by year. And I think up to now, the journal has the site score. This site score it shows that how much the journal has been visible to the large society in the world. But based on the scope of the journal, so we are expecting to receive submission to all the fields related to the complexity in the systems, in the data. So, so all they are welcome to contribute to the journal, and we are always looking the new contribution from the new authors. In total, this is the plan of the journal, and every year we are reporting this development of the journal and to all the board members. I believe that based on the feedback we can get from the other board members, different opinion, so they can help us to succeed to further development. So nowadays, many journals are developing. Some journals are less developing. It means the research is very life and the research is developing in a reasonable way. But the journals also should follow the research line stream. So we should also look at some new directions. And that's it. Thanks to some board members or special issue guest editors, they are proposing some new research areas. Uh, because without having this kind of the new lines, many authors maybe they don't think that this journal could be suitable for submission. So that's it. We try to give some ideas, and this kind of the style of the journal, many other journals are doing this something similar. So in general, the journal has some duty to promote the journal, to promote the new directions, and the authors also should follow the rules of the publications and also submission to the high quality papers. And the reviewers also has another task to keep the quality of the journal. So based on their comments and the editor board, they have a duty as to judge about the feedback they can receive from the reviewers. In total, this process is always running, and we try to every year to give a feedback to our readers or to our reviewers, to our board members. The journal has also some new aspect to encourage the young researchers, so to promote to their career to as much as possible from through our journal. It means we are supporting the young researcher if they through the best paper awards for the young researcher. Even we are supporting the conferences. It means if the conferences would like to cooperate with us, so we are very happy to discuss and then try to support the conference by selecting the or supporting some top scientists or the best papers in the conferences. In total, we have also some program for cooperation with conference. So in total, we believe that most all these efforts we are doing, so is needed basically for the success. Of course, the result will come late, but what we are doing now, we are hoping that in the future the journal will improve better as today, and this is our goal. We want to be improved year by year, and this is the plan what we have. Okay, thank you. So the paper has a one line of the editorial process. It means that the paper will be checked first by one of the board members. And if the paper has the eligibility, the requirement to be sent to the peer review process, the editor can send it to the peer review process. If not, either the paper can be rejected or can be returned to the authors to improve it. So when the paper goes to the review process, so we are trying to assign at least three reviewers for each paper. And then after collection of the reviewers, again, the board members, one of the board members has a duty to evaluate all the feedbacks received from the reviewers. So if the comments are the reasonable or the rational, and if some comments are not relevant, maybe we can assign another reviewers and try to get maybe another opinion. It means we try to make a decision on each submission with at least three informative review comments. And therefore, the quality of the paper will be checked at least by 4%, one board member and three reviewers. So in total, we are expecting that this paper, after acceptance, has the requirement of a good contribution to the field and to be published in the journal. So, and based on that, so only the expectation from the journal or from the board members is to select a paper has been passed all the review, strict review process. But of course, each paper has a different contribution. So one paper has a basic research, has some contribution to the basic. So another paper maybe is an application based, maybe it has a contribution to the technology. So different paper has a different contribution to the different level of the technology. But in total, as I said, that we are only relying and the solid review process or the comments received by reviewers. And later on, each paper has a new, different sound, and maybe one paper has a very high level of contribution to technology, maybe another paper to the basic. In total, is a change paper to another paper, but in total, what we try to keep the review process very carefully, and this is the target of the journal, and to succeed our goal in terms of the increasing the quality of the publications. Okay, thank you. So that's all our interview questions. So thank you very much for your time and asking this important question. I hope this kind of the communications from my side would be useful, helpful to the society, especially to the young researcher. Again, it is the Journal of Chemical Engineering System. So is considering the receiving the top level, at least high quality submissions from all the research around of the world. If the topic fits the scope of the journal, please don't hesitate to contact us if you want to ask in advance if the paper is in the scope or not, and we can communicate it. And then I hope you could be satisfied from selecting of journal, our journal for your as a target of your publication. And thanks again, and thank you very much.